Hello and welcome to Drewster Gamer FC. This is Premier League. This is level 20 to Premier League with Royal Oak, and this is Series 3, Episode 6. So in today's episode, we are going to be playing Rockland United, Hookering, Hawthorn United, and possibly Sproston Athletics under 21s. So we'll be getting the last 2 months of 2025, of the 25-26 season. Unfortunately, I tried to film this the day after I came back from holiday, but there was an error during filming, and we played one game during that filming, which I will show you as highlights here. So we got excuse me. So we were playing Flegborough, and then there was an error in the filming just as we were getting nearer to playing Rockland United. So I think it was meant to be the end of October, November, but planned had changed due to the error. So I'm going to show you the squad real quickly, just to catch everybody up. So the goalkeeper are Shane Owen and Jack Ward. So we'll show you. Let's do positions. Just so this will be quicker. So Shane Owen, who's a 22-year-old Welsh keeper, born on the 5th of the 12th, 2002. He's got good armoury. So for amateur level, I would say anything above a 5. So back to what I was saying, is that at amateur level, really good stats are probably above a 5, because you're not going to get many above a 10. But some players you probably would get some stats above a 10, depending on their career, where they had started in their career, because some probably have started in the professional academies. So this is some of Shane Owen's stats. So he's got good handling as a keeper, could work a little bit probably on kicking if he is to get it up to the target man. 1-on-1s I wouldn't say so bad at this level. He's alright at probably commanding his area, alright at aerial reach, but he is 22 years old. There's plenty of years to improve as a keeper before he's in his prime. And then we got Jack Ward, who is good at aerial reach. Communication could work on. Rushing out tends to come off his line. He's got above a 10 on that. Got 10 on reflexes, good at determination, teamwork is a 14, agility is a 12, jumping reach is a 5, but it looks like it could be going up, and he could improve in that stat. So he's only ever been at Royal Oak. So, he's ever been at Royal Oak. Jack Ward. Shane Owen has bounced around different Welsh clubs before making a home for himself this season again for Royal Oak in the 25-26 season. Made 5 appearances, conceded 5 goals. Hopefully we can hopefully he doesn't concede many more goals. So squad. So we go on to our right backs now. We got Jack Holden and we've got Bailey Cotton. So Jack Holden. And we're not going to be looking at amazing stats here. Just to warn you guys. You think when I'm showing the stats, you think, oh, he's going to be showing some 10s, he's going to be showing a lot of 11s or anything above a 10. Because 20 is the best stat somebody can get. But it's all down to the level they're playing at as well. So yeah, so I guess... actually, no, that's not what I wanted. I guess some of the stats that are being highlighted, I guess, are the ones mainly for his position. Yeah, I think the ones that are key to his position, I guess. But don't get why some are green and some are blue. That I do not know about. Apparently he's unlikely to improve in potential ability. He is 29 years old. So he is getting to the latter stages of his career. And then we got Bailey Cotton, who is on the opposite scale at 19 years old. So can improve. Hence probably why he's got potential abilities of being levels above the level he's playing at. So level 13. Still amateur football, but probably a bit more competitive at the amateur levels. He's got good tackling, he's got good work rate, good leadership, good determination, good stamina, good pace, good natural fitness. With that leadership, could he become a future captain at Royal Oak if he stays for a long time? Possibly. But for the meantime, I wouldn't quite give it to him as he's 19 years of age. We need a little bit more experience from him to then possibly be considered as a future captain. So he's made 6 appearances for Royal Oak. He's got 1 goal for himself and 2 assists. He joined in the 25-26 season, I think, after being released by AFC Wimbledon, after being in their academy, after moving there on a free from Millwall. After being released by Millwall, AFC Wimbledon had snatched him up to be in their academy, but felt he wasn't ready for first team football, so they released him. So now we move on to our centre backs, which is Tyler Priest, Tom Hayes, Andrew and Ingel Sumter. But Andrew and Ingel Sumter can also play defensive mid and central midfield. So we'll look at Tyler Priest. Tyler Priest had started his career at Newport County, but then apparently Football Manager doesn't have quite a lot of stats on him on terms of his career stats, unless he hasn't played football for many years. I do not know, but he then moved to Wales in the 21-22 season, so there's probably a gap that we don't know about. So don't just think he left Newport and didn't have a club for many years, because he probably had clubs before 21-22 season, and then he was playing in Wales up until the 24-25 season, where he got released, I think, and then joined Royal Oak in the 25-26 season, making 8 appearances and got a goal and an assist for himself as a centre-back. Quite impressive. And then he is 30 years old, so he's getting to the later stages of his career. Meanwhile, with Tom Hayes, he's probably halfway through, depending on what age he started. 25 years old. Can probably improve a little bit. He's apparently good for this, the potential ability to be good at this level, apparently. So he's got good determination, good jumping. This is why we got him as a cover, because he's got good pace, good jumping reach. Headering is a 7, marking and tackling on 9 and 10. Positioning is a 6. Positioning isn't all that great. He fits in well with the course group of the squad. The fans apparently really like this player. He has performed okay in training, and acceleration underpins his overall speed. He dreads playing in big matches apparently. Poor technique. Good player from most level 19 sides. So, yeah. But he is doing alright for us. Apparently he's a selfish player. Apparently he's one-footed. And it can only play one position. Sometimes that's not actually a bad thing, playing just one position. Because it means sometimes you're not figuring out that person's position. And then we got Andrews, can't quite say his last name, 17-year-old Welshman. Only ever been at Royal Oak, but he was, I think, in the under-18s, but did make 2 appearances in the 23-24 season for the first team, but they didn't play for the entirety of the second season, but made 2 appearances in the 25-26 season, hoping to make that little more than the first season of first team appearances. He is 17 years old, so there will be seasons where he will get plenty of game time. So now we move on to Ingel Sumter, And Ingel Sumpter is a 17-year-old Englishman. He could improve a lot. Could go up to 4-star potentially as his potential ability. Coach summary: Sumpter fits very well into the core group of players. Spirited individual. Could improve a lot in the future. Good in the air. So apparently he's good in the air. He has an impressive jumping reach. Can play in a couple of positions. So he could play left back if needed be and central midfield. Has performed okay in training. And has some improvements as a footballer over the last. Had made some improvements as a footballer over the last 3 months. Weakness: has work to do to improve his passing. Yeah, his passing is only a 2. Consistency: should be focusing on becoming a more consistent performer at this stage of his development. Has a competitive streak which sometimes leads him bending the rules. Currently operates at a level 19. And apparently he's fairly slow. Okie dokie. Not all defenders are quick. Some are slow, some are not, I guess. So now on to the left backs. We got Kieran Parson. Yeah, go on about the versatile. So let's go coach summary. Very consistent performer. Determined individual. Possesses a fair amount of pace. Acceleration underpins his overall speed. And he has performed okay in training. He is 27 years old. There's a possibility that some stats might go down, or he could slightly improve. But his cons: he dreads playing in big matches. Poor heading abilities means he'll never likely to be useful in an aerial situation. Good player for most level 19 sides. Potential to be leading level 19 left back in the future. Selfish player. Already saw that one. Person is finding it hard to adapt into the core squad. Into the core group of the squad. So yeah, hasn't got amazing stats. Like his passing's only a 4. 6'2". That's why his jumping reach I think is alright. But yeah, for someone at this level, I don't quite know what to make of it. But he does have good determination, which I think does help. As he's got that good determination, it shows on the pitch that he is determined to try and win balls back. And I think that does help the team quite a bit. He's determined to try and help the team out. But then saying that his teamwork stats isn't great, but at this level I don't expect them to be amazing. Let's go back to the squad. So I think I went through but the left backs. So now we're going to go to the DMs. Is Caleb Heavey and Ethan Wilson. So Caleb Heavey could also play central midfield as well. 22-year-old Irishman. Decisions. Got good decisions, good determination, good pace, good natural fitness, good agility, good acceleration. So some of the stats, passing stats you need: technique, tackling, long shots, first touch, dribbling. The ones in blues and green highlighted are the ones which I think are more for his position. So, he's a consistent performer, individual personality, balance and normal personality, possesses a fair amount of pace. Strongest attributes, ability to make the right decisions is one of the main reasons behind his intelligence on the pitch. Can play in a couple of positions, has performed okay in training. Dreads playing in big matches, can be wayward when crossing the ball, decent player for most level 19, very poor when it comes to marking an opponent, potential to be a decent Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 central midfielder in the future, and has found it hard to adapt into the core group of the squad. Hopefully his natural fitness doesn't go down and can stay. And can stay around above a 10, doesn't go below a 10 at least. So that was Caleb Heavey. Now we go on to Ethan Wilson. Ethan Wilson, a defensive midfielder and a central midfielder, but possibly could play a cam as well if we need him to. I've performed especially well in training, and it's shown as an improvement in his game. Is natural in a couple of positions, potential to be a Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 central midfielder in the future, balance and normal personality, strongest area of the game, possesses a fair amount of pace, and strongest attribute, first touch, is key to him being a technical player. So that's his pros. His cons: weakness in the area game, must do a better job when it comes to marking, has to work to do on improving his crosses, decent player for most level 19 sides, consistency, needs to work on becoming more consistent if he is to develop further. And Wilson tends to be I don't know what that word is, but I guess most of you can figure that one out. So the stats that he was good at is his pace, determination, but it is looking like it could be going down. First touch is alright. His passing's good. It's a 10, but there's a lot of stats in ones, so if he is to go for a header, probably isn't going to be winning it 90% of the time. Marking could improve if he was to take throw-ins. Certainly can't rely on him to do long throws. Dribbling really needs to improve in dribbling. I guess that's a basic that most players should not even be on ones on the dribbling stat. And positioning, really needs to work on his positioning. And then we've got Lewis Stead and Tom McMaureen. So Lewis Stead is 34 years old. So his pros displays a fairly determined attitude, fairly consistent performer, good positioning and decision makes for a fairly intelligent player. Passing ability underlines the technical prowess and has performed okay in training lately and has been putting in a good effort. So his cons: dreaded playing big matches, an ability to dribble can make him seem a bit more dismal when going forward with the ball, leading player for most level 19 sides. Weakness of his game, area of his game, very poor when it comes to marking an opponent. Unlikely to improve in the future. Get that, probably coming towards the end. Apparently his con is versatility, can only play one position. Dressing room instead fits more into a secondary group than he does the core social group. And then Tom McMaureen, 21 years old. Some stats looking like they could improve. Strongest attributes, he is naturally fit, so it won't take much training to get him match sharp. Consistent performer. Potential to be a Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 central midfielder. Individual personality, balance and normal personality. Strength and stamina makes him a decent athlete. Has performed okay in training. The player has put in some really good performances recently. His con, he needs to work to improve his dribbling. Excuse me. So, Tom McMaureen, 21-year-old midfielder. Oh yeah, kind of. I think I read everything. So yeah, so Tom McMaureen looks like quite a decent player for this level. And can improve, and hopefully it can be have a better potential than what is being shown here that I'm highlighting. So we did Tom McMaureen, and now we're on to our right mids. Gregory Frankenborg, Lewis Owens, Oliver Skinner, Ben Steele, Armando Mema, and Jordan Effong. So we'll start off with Lewis Owens, who is 17 years old and has come through our academy. So we can officially say that he's one of our own and sing this song that football fans sing when they get a player through their academy and ends up being there for a long time. For example, with Spurs, with Harry Kane, the way he came through before he left for Bayern Munich, and the fans were singing, "He's one of our own, he's one of our own, Lewis Owens, he's one of our own." But in Spurs' case, it was Harry Kane's name, but I did Lewis Owens because he is Rylocks, one of our own. So his pros, that he's been performing well in training. His dressing room Owen fits well with the majority of the squad. Potential ability can improve a lot in the future. Fairly consistent performer. Possesses a fair amount of pace. Acceleration underpins his overall speed. Can play in a couple of positions. Basically just a bit more attacking right mid, basically. And he's a homegrown at the club, which is a pro. Weakness, currently lacks the game intelligence required to compete at a higher level. Weakness. Weakest attribute, has work to do in the heading department. Unambitious and doesn't look to further himself apparently is a weakness, and current ability currently operates at a level 90 level. Well, he has made a good start, getting his first team opportunity with 7 goals, 4 assists in 5 appearances. And now we move on to Gregory Frankenborg, who's 27 years old. Go to his pros. He can play in several positions along. Let's say you had one striker. He could play anywhere behind the solo striker. You could play a little bit deeper on the left mid and right mid. You can put a shift if needed for central midfield, but central midfield isn't his main position. But on the attacking side of the midfield, the central midfield, he can. So his pros is that he plays in several positions. He's a balanced and normal personality. Strength and stamina make him a decent athlete. I love how it says strength and stamina when his strength is 5 and his stamina is 7. Strongest attributes, his technical attributes, is a hallmark of this player's approach to the game. Has performed okay in training. Has put in a really good performances recently. And Frankenborg seems to fit well with most of the squad. So his cons: tend not to get stuck in to rough challenge, can put his teammates under pressure. Current ability: leading player for most level 19 sides. Important matches: doesn't feel comfortable playing in big matches, is a con. He's a selfish player, apparently, is a con. Potential to be a decent central and south of League Division 2 right winger, apparently that's a con. And has a competitive streak which occasionally leads him to bending the rules, is also a con. Good technique stats, good flair, good leadership, good natural fitness and agility. Anticipation is good. He's got good first touch, which is good for a winger, I think. Because like, you don't really want a winger that's got a poor touch, because you want the winger to be keeping the ball in, not like a winger having a touch where it's always going away from him and then having to chase after it all the time. If you don't have the pace but play winger and you're always having to chase after it, you might lose the battle against like a fullback or a centre back who might have quite a bit of pace. And now we move on to Oliver Skinner, who is 23 years old and play anywhere along the right mid positions and can play striker. So his cons are potential ability to be a good Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 right winger in the future, balance and normal personality, possess a fair amount of pace, acceleration underpins his overall speed, can play in a couple of positions, has performed okay in training. Skinner seems to fit well with most of the squad. Dreads playing in big matches, and struggle when facing with a shooting opportunity on the edge of the box. These are his cons: decent player for most level 19 sides, poor intelligence on the football pitch, fairly inconsistent performer, and has a competitive streak which can occasionally lead him to bend the rules. So here are his stats. And then we move on to Ben Steele. Ben Steele could play attacking right mid and striker. So we go to his pro: balance and normal personality, good in the air, apparently. Ability to maintain balance under pressure, which is good. I'm playing a couple of positions. Has performed okay in training lately and has put in some really good performances. His cons: that he's a good player for most level 19 sides. Very poor technique, especially when striking a football. Can be wayward with his passing. Doesn't enjoy big matches. And still is finding it hard to adapt into a core squad of players. So going back to this very poor technique, especially when striking a football, can I say he's got 5 goals, 1 assist? How when you're saying that he's got poor technique when striking a football and he's managed to score 5 goals this season so far? Explain that one, Football Manager. And then Armelindo Mema, who can play right mid, left mid, cam and striker. So his pros is that he's potential to be a leading level 13 left winger in the future. Fans have a great affinity towards this player. Current ability, leading player from most Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 sides. Is a natural in a couple of positions. Balance and normal personality. Good technique, especially when striking a football. Ability to dribble makes him a difficult opponent to come up against. Performed okay in training, been putting in a good effort. Has put in some really good performances recently. And has English as his second nationality. His con: tendency to not get stuck in and put his teammate into rough challenges, could put his teammate under pressure. Selfish player. Mema tends to figure in the squad. Doesn't enjoy big matches. Fairly inconsistent performer. Wait, where was there something? And he's very one-footed, which I never realised that a player really needed to be good with both feet these days. Jordan Efong. His pros: has performed well in training lately and is showing improvement on his game. Efong fits well with the majority of the squad. Could improve a lot in the future. Balance and normal personality. A committed player who gives his all to the cause. Works well within the team. Can play a couple of positions. And is a homegrown at the club. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Jordan Efong. He's one of our own. And then the cons: currently lacks the game intelligence required to compete at a higher level. Only 16, can improve on that, I think. Weakness attributes: has work to do in the heading department. Where's heading? Heading is a 3. Okay. Should focusing on becoming a more consistent player at this stage, consistent performer at this stage of his development. And currently operates at a level 19 level and has a competitive streak which occasionally lead him to bend the rules. I don't know, some of these cons are justifiable. He's only 16. Give him time. And maybe if things don't improve in a few years, or let's say 4 years, maybe some of these cons could be justifiable. And now on to the players who can mainly play striker is Roman Ismail. His pros are: has performed especially well in training and is enjoying improvement in his game. Ismail fits well into the core group of the squad. has the potential ability to be a good striker at this level in the Central and South Norfolk League Division 2. Balance and normal personality. Possesses a fair amount of pace. Acceleration underpins his overall speed. His cons, very selfish player. Has work to do to improve his crossing. Decent player for most level 19 sides. Needs to work on becoming more consistent if he is to develop further. Can only play in one position right now. Has a competitive streak which can occasionally lead him to bend the rules. Has several players here. Dylan Bebb, 23 years old. His pros. And plays striker. 23-year-old Welshman. Potential to be a good Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 striker in the future. The fans really like this player in Dylan Bebb. Balance and normal personality. Very consistent performer. Possesses a fair amount of pace. Ability to strike the ball sweetly makes him a good finisher. Has performed okay in training lately. And Bebb seems to fit fairly well with most of the squad. Cons, very selfish player. Tends to not get stuck into rough challenges, can put his teammates under some pressure. Good player for most level 19 sides. Doesn't enjoy big matches and can only play in one position. And then Brian Zeppo. Brian Zeppo's pros is that a potential to be a leading Central and South Norfolk League Division 2 striker in the future. Balance and normal personality. Enjoys big matches. Fairly consistent performer. Possesses a fair amount of pace. Ability to dribble makes him a difficult opponent to come up against. And has performed okay in training. Can be wayward when crossing the ball. Leading player for most level 19 sides. Poor intelligence on the football pitch. Fairly susceptible to injuries. Can play one position. Has a competitive streak, which leads to bending the rules like most of the players. Has declined slightly as a footballer over the last 3 months. And Zeppo is finding it hard to adapt into the core group of the squad. And that's us done with catching you up on the players that are here. We are going to make a few changes. I do think Roman is going to come on for Ben Steele. Melindo Mema hasn't performed great over 5 games. Let's get F. Fong back in to the side. Andrews hasn't played that many minutes. And Tyler Pierce has played quite a bit. So we'll put Andrews in. What midfielders have played quite a bit of minutes that we could rest? Say we rest Lewis Stead. Put in Tom McMaureen. Rest Lewis Stead completely, and Caleb Heavey can go up into that position. Jack Holden hasn't played as much as Bailey Cotton, so put Jack Holden in. Freddie Stanley has made 4 appearances. Kane Parsons has made 4 appearances as well. So we'll give Freddie Stanley 1 more game. Yeah, that's the team I think we're going to go with for this up and coming game. And Kai Rowlands to replace Ingel Sumter, because Guy Rowlands hasn't really made that many minutes this season. So Tom McMaureen commits his future, and Tom McMaureen is set to go on trial with Loughborough Dynamos, and Loughborough Dynamos play in the United Counties League Premier North. So Tom McMaureen will accept the trial because I feel like it would be a good opportunity for him to trial with and train with a team a little bit higher up than us. If it's a trial that comes in, I won't deny it. I'll hold my hands up and won't deny it, because it'd be a good opportunity for them to go and train with a team higher up than us. So who's for me to deny that opportunity? So we're going to show you highlights of the Flegborough game, the one that I mentioned that unfortunately wasn't in the video because we tried to film this video day before I'm filming now. So, and there was an error, so unfortunately this game missed out on the filming and we had to refilm, so it missed the cut of showing you the whole film. So we are showing you the goal highlights. So Lewis Stead penalty, what a pen, bottom corner, and what a finish. So free kick whipped in. What a header by Priest. And Stead with another penalty made it 3-0. And then Flegborough got themselves a goal back by a corner, which was poorly cleared. Ali with the shot, but it was deflected off Holloway, and Holloway got the goal for Flegborough. So there were the goals. I had to show that so you weren't missing out. We are now moving on to the Rockland United game. Making sure I stay hydrated. Wow. He's currently on trial somewhere with Loughborough Dynamos. I'm not going to do anything with that because he's on trial, so I don't want to mess with his head. But Bobby Robson, you're staying to the end of the season. Loughborough Dynamos also trying to make I get trial, but not signing straight off the bat. Offer for Jack Ward. I don't think I need to offer him a new contract. Didn't think so. Guy Rowlands, I think I need to offer a new contract to. No? already did that. Freddie Stanley, offer you a new contract. So Tom Maureen has got 5 weeks on trial at Loughborough Dynamos. Like, if we decided to move before we play Rockland United to another club that has nothing to do with Loughborough Dynamos, then I feel like he hasn't been professional. Should see out his 5-week trial before any decision is made, I think, because up to a few days into your trial and then possibly decide to move somewhere else. See, my advice to him would be to see out his trial and then make a decision. That's what I would say. That would be my advice. As much as you, as a fan, you want a player to make a decision quickly, see if he's staying or if he's not staying. But end of the day, sometimes it takes time for a player to make a decision. At least Saudi club wants a Vinicius Junior. How are Real Madrid doing? Oh, they're first. I didn't realise Vinicius Junior played for the B team. Quite a good amount of playing time for the first team before deciding to go put him into the B team before he starts making consistent appearances for the first team. Like 18, probably whatever age he was at the time, probably a teenager, to make 18 appearances and then during that season decide, oh, 5 appearances for the B team. Just bizarre. That's just bizarre. Ismail committed his future. Still more offers for Maureen, Jack Ward. No. Let's get to our next game, which is again second in the table, Rockland United. I don't know if I have any previous matches against them. Our under-21 manager signs a new deal to stay with us. This is what our assistant manager has given us as a selection advice. I'm sticking with what I chose. We are favourites to win this game. So we're going to go into the press conference. We're talking to TalkSport, Andy Kemp. Rockland are currently in second place, 10 points behind league leaders Royal Oak. Do you expect a good result on Saturday against a team considered to be one of the strongest in the division? I think we got a good chance. We're confident. Can we expect an attacking focus from your team in this match? We don't know another way. The message to the players is always to attack, score goals and win gaming style. How important are Lewis Stead leadership credentials to your team? As far as I'm concerned, he's integral to what we do, and I'm happily have a team full of players like him. Does Ethan Wilson have the key attributes to unpick Rockland United? I know Ethan can perform to a good standard in games like these. So press conference done and dusted. We already selected our lineup. And more clubs are looking at Tom McMurray to potentially try and sign him. So Kieran Parson commits his future to the club. Same with Dylan Bebb and same with Armelindo Mema. And Roman Ismail was the best in training. Followed by Jack Ward and Bailey Cotton. Ben Still's the worst in training. Freddie Stanley followed and closely followed also by Dylan Bebb. So here we go. The Rockland United game. So not long until the time of the game. We're just waiting for the sim for it to stop simming. And we do also have our U18s playing Braintree U18s. Hopefully they can go and beat Braintree. So, an offer been made for Caleb Heavey. Offer him a new contract. We'll get director of football to anyway. So all we need to do now is just sim up to the time of the game. So Royal Oaks under-18s beat Braintree under-18s, and Royal Oak under-18s climbing the table up to 7th, and Braintree are second from bottom in 17th. So at game day, the other games are Hawthorn United against Flegborough, Contesi Sports Reserve versus Sproton Athletics under 21s. Oh yeah, did we take Tom Marine that position, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We'll bring Caleb Heavey in, and then Lewis. Where's Lewis Stead? Lewis Stead can come in into the bench. So glad to see Frankie Ball started. He fits this team like a glove. And then someone else said perfect. Just perfect to the lineup, I guess. Here we go. Winning our last 5 games. Winning every single game actually this season. And Rockland have lost 1 out of their last 5, which is not so bad. Also, anybody could possibly become second in the league after their games. Well, not everybody, but like most teams could. So, kick off. So we are looking to try and get the ball back, with the opposition keeping the ball well within the first 30 seconds. That's a bit better. Oh, we just lost that ball. Don't know what Ethan Wilson was doing there. Can we get the ball back? Which we do. And Wilson plays the ball to Holden. Holden plays a short ball to Frankie Ball. He plays it into the middle to Ismail. Ismail plays it into the middle to Heavey. Heavy's looking to go out wide to Efong. Efong goes for goal, and a brilliant save by the Rockland United keeper, who's stepping up to take the corner. It is Gregory Frankenborg. Gregory Frankenborg whips it in, but being cleared out for a Royal Oak throw-in. So we've had 2 shots, 1 on target. Our opponents have had 0 shots, 0 on target. We are at Normanstown Park. Kind of ignore the attendance in a way on this game sometimes, because this game doesn't recognise with a database that we actually play at a park and not in a stadium or a ground. Go on, Frankenborg. Plays it out wide to Efong. Efong. What can Efong do? Efong looks to play it back to Freddie Stanley. Whips the ball into the box. Gregory Frankenborg header. Gregory Frankenborg with the goal. Come on. And Royal Oak are 1-0 up. But he was offside. So it's gone back to 0-0. Didn't quite notice that to start with. Hayes with the ball to Hebe. Hebe over to Frankenborg. Frankenborg tries to play it over to Zeppo, but unfortunately it went a little bit further past Zeppo, and the opposition was able to give it back to the goalkeeper. Well done, Ismail. Heads it down to Wilson. Wilson knocking it past his opponent. What can Wilson do here? Is Wilson looking to put it across? Plays it back to Jack Holden, who plays it back to Wilson. Wilson to Frankenborg. Frankenborg goes for goal, and it's blocked and out for a corner kick. Hopefully the corner kick can be played probably a bit more central for somebody to able to get a header on. But it has been cleared only as far as Zeppo, and Zeppo has put it into row Z. Just imagine the top of my head is, like my forehead is the crossbar, and anything high up is row Z, basically. Ooh, was that a save? Brilliant save by Shane Owens. So it's currently still 0-0. I wouldn't say it's our best performance in the opening 45 minutes, but hopefully these last few minutes we can improve on that. And it's unfortunate that the offside denied Gregory Frankenborg earlier. But we're coming up to half time. And it is 0-0. But can Efong make it? Ooh! Not a bad effort from a 16-year-old on the free kick. And the half-time whistle has blown. And it is 0-0. So it is currently 0-0. And we're hoping for a better second half performance. Wilson to Frankenborg. Frankenborg to Ismail. Ismail over to Efong. Efong puts the ball in. Ismail wasn't able to keep his... Oh, he did keep his head down. But it was just directly to the keeper there. So we are currently 1-0 down. We need to encourage the lads. Ball over to Frankenborg, over to Wilson. Wilson with the shot, but saved by the keeper. Now, Frankenborg hasn't had the best of games, nor has Zeppo either. And have we got a penalty? We have got a penalty, a chance to redeem ourselves. and Roman Ismail has made it 1-1. Gonna make a couple of subs. I might switch Gregory Frank will play out the left. Might switch him out on the left. No. Let's put on Bobby Robson and then put on Lewis Owens. Switch out the two wingers. Go on, Owens. Over to Wilson. Wilson with the goal. And Wilson top bins. Come on, Wilson. Puts us in the lead for the first time in this game. We were 1-0 down. To now being 2-1 up. Brilliant. Hayes to Robson. Robson over to Owens. Owens plays out wide to Robson. What can Robson do here? Bobby Robson. Ooh. Left his marker for dead. Bobby Robson puts it in. Owens puts the ball back across the box to Wilson. And Ethan Wilson makes it 3-1 with his second goal of the game. And what a comeback. 1-0 down to 3-1 up. What a fantastic game this has been in the second half. Heavey to Robson. Robson over to Wilson. Wilson through to Zeppo. Can Zeppo make it 4-1? Zeppo puts it wide. I think my next sub will be a centre-back change. Ismail. Go on, Ismail. You've got plenty of space to run into. Ismail plays it to Wilson. Wilson plays out to Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson goes for goal. Finds the bottom corner. And it is 4-1. Ryan Oak to keep our unbeaten run going. What a brilliant second half. From going from 0-0 to, I think, 1-0 down to 4-1 up. Owens with the free kick. Owens, 8th goal of the season, makes it 5-1. And Royal Oak, what a game I am witnessing here. From our first half where we looked dreadful to our second half where we are banging in 5 goals. Now I am really going to make a sub. I think I'm going to make a centre-back sub. Kai Rowlands for Andrews. Kai Rowland comes in. Going to praise the lads. What a second half this has been. Go on, Ismail. Play out wide, play out wide. Ismail, play it back. Needed to play that back. Holden whips the ball in. Can Zeppo get his head onto it? Down to Heavey. And He's completely put that into rosette. More like a tree. Because we do play at our park. We haven't been given a new ground as of yet. I'm not going to request a new ground until we get into at least semi-professional level. So we will be playing at a park for a very long time. Heavey. Over to Wilson. Wilson on the turn. But unfortunately puts it wide. What a game it has been. And what a turnaround. We're coming up to the last minute of the added time, which 3 was added on. Go on, Rowlands. Tried to play that ball over to Owens. But Holden wins the ball back, plays it to Owen. Owens looking to go down line. What can Owens do here? Owens lost out on the ball, but not even a second later, tried to win it back. But unfortunately, Rockland United come away with the ball. And the full-time whistle has blown, and it ends 5-1. Yeah, we were 1-0 down on the 52nd minute and came back from a Roman Ismail penalty on the 63rd minute. And then a couple of subs on the 72nd minute with Efong and Gregory Frankenborg coming off for Lewis Owens and Bobby Robson, who have helped turn the game around, with Ethan Wilson getting 2 goals and an assist, and Lewis Owens getting 2 goals himself, Bobby Robson getting a goal himself, and Roman Ismail, I think, topped it all off. No, he didn't. He started the comeback, shall I say. That was a fantastic game, and what a win. And at this club, that's what we expect. So, let's look at some fan reactions. Decent result that I'll be happy for the rest of the day now. That was a good result. I just found myself wanting to get back to... Good result, but I just found myself wanting to get back to my FM save. That's quite funny. Oh, yeah. You're playing FM and then reading some like fan reaction, talking about, and then some in-game fan reaction, and it's like, I want to get back to my FM save. How much longer can Ismail command a place in the team without scoring? He scored! What are you on about? Roman Ismail scored a penalty. I don't think you were watching this game, mate. Wilson is just too good, someone said. Oh great, here we go. The overreactions to Wilson's performance. Corey McDonald, I don't think you were watching this game, mate. Because some of these reactions to Wilson being good is valid, I think. I don't know where to begin with that. Imagine thinking there are better players out there than Wilson. Roman is capable of scoring goals, of scoring more, and that goal might help him on his way. What a goal that was. And still doesn't make him any good. Oh, right. Okay. I'm going to move away from that screen. I don't want to look at some of those comments a little longer. Because some of these fans might need to rethink what they're saying. So, we're speaking to somebody from Sky Sports. You were expected to be among those scrapping it out for survival this season, yet here we are after a stunning start with Rilo flying high. How far can your team go? I know I'm supposed to say that we're going to take things one step at a time, but I'd rather be optimistic and aim high. The sky really is the limit for this group. Everyone enjoyed Lewis Owen's guy thunderous free kick from 25 metres that silenced opposition fans. It must have been fantastic to see one of your players score a goal like that. How did you rate it? That's what Lewis is capable of. It was a magnificent strike from a magnificent player. What was your view on Ethan Wilson's performance today? He seemed to have had a great game. It's the kind of displayer that even the most stubborn and reluctant to praise of Ethan's ability. Your team won today despite some debatable decisions from the match official. Do you have anything to say? I don't want to embroil any controversy right now. So far, Central and South Norfolk League Division 3, you have 100% record. Can you keep this remarkable run going? Confidence sky high. We're going to every game believing we can win. Have you come to settle you? How have you come to settle? I believe this football should be played. Thank you, Sky Sports, and thank you for covering us. I'm going to praise Ismail's performance and praise Wilson's performance. And Oliver Skinner has committed his future with the club. So we got a 14-day gap until our next fixture. So we got one inbox. Nothing we really need to deal with. So Hawthorn won their game, makes themselves go above Rockland. Contesti Sports go above Rockland as well on goal difference. And Hookering could go above Rockland potentially. And Dussendal, Hellesenden, Rovers under 21 could put themselves a points behind Hookering. Eight 2. Whoa, what a result. So Hookering did put themselves 1-0 up in the 40th minute before conceding in the 50th, the 51st and the 54th. It's basically a 4-minute hat-trick for Philip. And then also conceded in the 56th minute to be 4-1 down before making it 4-2 in the 66th minute, couldn't get in the second goal, and then conceded their 5th in the 71st minute, their 6th in the 80th minute, 87th minute they conceded their 7th, and then conceded the 8th in the 89th minute. And Jack Ward has committed his future to Royal Oak. So Royal Oak under-18s will be playing St Albans under-18s. And we need to offer Jack Ward another contract after just committed his future. So the 50 best players in the world. Goal readers have voted, and the winner of this year, goal 50, is Kylian Mbappe. And then second was Bukayo Saka. Third was Harry Kane. Fourth was Jude Bellingham. Fifth is Vinicius Jr. Sixth is Bernardo Silva. Seventh is Erling Haaland. Eighth is Jamal Musiala. Ninth is Mohamed Salah. 10th is Rodri for short. 11th was Ederson. 12th is Eduardo Camavinga. 13th was Kevin De Bruyne. 14th was Lautaro Martinez. 15th was Martin Odegaard. Declan Rice was 16th. 17th was Gabriel Martinelli. 18th was Phil Foden. 19th was Ruben Diaz. 20th was Connor Araujo. 21st was Thibaut Courtois. 22nd was Rodrigo. 23 was Victor Osimhen. 24th was Joshua Kimmich. 25th was Virgil van Dijk. 26th was Lionel Messi at Inter Miami. 27th was Mark Andreas ter Stegen. 28th was Alisson. 29th was Leroy Sané. And 30th was Donnarumma. 31st was Federico Valverde. 32nd was Rafael Leao. 33rd was Frankie de Jong. 34th was Ousmane Dembele. 35th was Gabriel Jesus. 36th was Bruno Fernandes. 37th was Pedri. 38th was Joao Neves. 39th was John Stones. 40th was Jack Grealish. 41st was William Saliba. 42nd was Robert Lewandowski. 43rd was Raheem Sterling. 44th was Matthias de Ligt. 45th was Bruno Guimaraes. 46th was Victor Gyökeres. 47th Yerry Pino. 48th was Alphonso Davies. 49th was Tchouaméni. 50th was Eder Militao. Weekly staff meetings. Got to praise him for his recent performances. So Ben Still commits his future. Bobby Robson commits his future, which is good. Offer made for Oliver Skinner. Actually, I'll see. With offers that are being made to players, I won't offer any contracts now. I know I said, oh, wouldn't offer any contract when it comes to the pre-season, but I think I'm at the stage, we're in our third season, we should see if players decide to move themselves. So we're just simming through up until the hookering game. Kai Rowlands commits his future. Under 18s manager. What has he been? Has denied against moving. T has revealed that he would be much happier staying at Royal Oak at this present in time. It's good that one of our staff in the under 18 has decided to stay. Freddie Stanley stay. This offers for Oliver Skinner, offer for Kai Rowland. Akbar Student making an offer for Caleb Heavey. And finally, Celtic Juniors making an offer for Jack Ward. These players would like to go, then they can go. just look at this guy's information. Ah, right. Right. He could come and could don't worry, just looking at a random player as there was something said about him. This random player was currently at Leicester. We was debating about playing for England, and then I thought, was England his only nationality? Or was there another nationality? And I thought there had to be another nationality. And Loughborough students are making a Dylan Bebb offer. So yeah, so Hookering are currently 5th in the table. Don't quite know the points gap between them and second, to see if there's any danger of if they did beat us, for them closing the gap on us, which I'm just going to have a look. So Hookering are on 11. They are 5 points behind Hawthorn, and there's only 2 teams that I think really that could go above Hawthorn. So I don't think we're really going to be that challenged. So we've got about a week until our game against Hookering. Yes, the Royal Oaks under 18s won 2-0 against St Albans under 18s, and we are still 7th. So hopefully the next game with a win could push us further up the table. Also, there's been offers for Tom McMore-Reed, offers for Gregory Frankenborg, and some teams trying to take our under 18s manager to be their reserve manager, which I'm not going to allow to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. So we are now 5 days away from the Hookering game. and then we will be playing the Hawthorn United game after that. So we will be playing Hookering and Hawthorn. And then potentially we might have 4 games in what would be, if I'm not mistaken, if you give me a second. Yeah, which will be episode 7. So yeah, so Sproston Athletic, Contessa Sports, Dussindolan, Helsingdon, and then Flegborough should be all episode 7, and then so we might have 9 or 10 episodes for this season. So let's get to the Hookering game, and hopefully another 3 points, hopefully. So yeah, so another 3 points we're hoping. I'm going to show that right. Yeah, another 3 points. Weekly staff meeting. It wants us to replace some people on the loan list, which I am doing. Wants us to adjust Bailey Cottons. So we just did the weekly staff meeting. Got 3 inboxes. Kayla Heavy's committed his future, which is nice to see. So the game's just saving. And then Royal Oaks under 18s play on the Sunday against Kettering. So for the game against Hookering, we are going to swap out the goalkeepers. In the 3 seasons, well, the 2 and a bit seasons that I've been at Royal Oak, I've not seen the goalkeeper get injured, like, during a match. So I haven't had to really have a keeper on the bench, really. But we'll be keeping it that way until I do start seeing injuries, and then maybe if I do see an injury to a keeper during the match, it might change my mind on having keepers on the bench. So, 4 inboxes. Kai Rowlands has decided to turn down the chance to leave the club and has opted to stay put. Rowlands rejected contracts from Ardell United, who are a semi-professional club, and has turned down Romilly Rovers, who are also a semi-professional club. So he's turned down a couple of semi-professional clubs, and Jack Ward has committed his future. Feel like we are going to throw Kai Rowlands in, take Tom Hayes out. Goalkeeper situation, we are swapping over. And Shane Owen has made 6 appearances, so I feel like it's time for the other keeper to get an opportunity. Jack Holden, 4 appearances. Bailey Cotton's made 5, so Bailey Cotton can come in. Let's give Sumpter a bit more. So Sumpter can go on the bench. Bailey Cotton's in. Ronan Ismail. Let's give Ronan Ismail another chance. I say swap round. We'll drop Zeppo. And I say bring on someone like Dylan Bebb. So we'll drop Zeppo completely. Leave Armelindo Mema over Frankenborg. Keep Owens on the bench. I feel like Owens has done well. Let's give Bobby Robson. He hasn't had a start. Give him a start. I say keep Stead as like a backup. Yeah, I'm happy with the team that I've gone with for this hookering game. So we're simming up to the next game. So we've got 5 inboxes, some offers from Roman Ismail, some offers for Tom McMaureen, some offers for Jack Ward. Yes, our under-18s manager signed a new contract. Where was the new... Ooh. Okay. So he left Nottingham Forest in 2024 and has joined Birmingham and managers. Okay, he's only 1 day in charge, and his first game... What's his first game going to be? First game's going to be against Hull City. Hull City for Nuno Espirito Santos as manager of Birmingham City. He is going to be facing Hull City. And then his final game of the season will be against Stoke City. Hopefully he's going to have a good run of form. We will check back in on Nuno Espirito Santos. Hopefully he has not been sacked by the end of the season. And Oliver Skinner has decided to turn down the chance to leave the club. So we've got press conference. which I don't think is going to have many questions. Welcome to BBC Radio 5 Live. You defied a lot of expectations so far this season by progressing nicely. I'll tell you what, over the first few weeks. Do you think you can keep this going? I don't see why not. Anything is possible in football, and we're focused on winning as many matches as we can. What are you expecting for Hookery after a rather surprising defeat? They're a little fragile after that defeat, and we have to take advantage of that. Can we expect Oliver Skinner to get more opportunities now that he signed a new contract? What do you make of Flegbridge's struggle this season? I don't really have anything to say about that. Don't really have anything to say. I'm not going to be talking about another team when I need to focus on my own team here. So there are some offers. Offer for our goalkeeper Jack Ward. Offer for our goalkeeper Kai Rowlands. Who did we have in goal? We had Shane. What was Shane? He played against Rockland United. Okay. So Bailey Cotton was the best in training, followed by Jordan Effong and Oliver Skinner. Shane Owen wasn't so great in training. Ben Steele, followed by Ben Steele, and then followed by Kai Rowlands. Oliver Skinner. Oliver Skinner can come in to the next game. Oliver Skinner will be playing against Hawthorn United. Hopefully there isn't too much of a big gap between that game. So, got some. Our director of football has made an offer for a defender called Bennett Richards, who's 27 years old. He plays for the amateur. Yeah, the amateur. Okay. Ben Richards. Let's have a look at some of his stats. Don't know. Just gonna wait until to see if they sign him. There is other teams looking at him as well. Tactical meeting, team meeting. We have already selected the squad. Here we go. Someone said I can't find a fault with that. Happy that Cotton is starting, someone else said. There we go. We have motivated some players in the dressing room. So Hookering have won 1 in the last 5, lost 2 and drawn 2. We have won all of our last 5 and won every single game in the league, winning 9 games, making this the 10th game if we do get a win, and that will mean we'll be on 30 points. So Hookering have kicked off, currently keeping the ball in their own half at the moment, just trying to keep possession. They've finally got over into our half, and it's gone out for a Royal Oak throw-in. Bobby Robson puts the ball in. Ball's been cleared as far as Ethan Wilson. Third minute, Bailey Cotton gave it to Ben Steele. Ben Steele played the ball to Mema, and Mema played it over to Healy, and Healy smashed the ball into the net. Sorry about the technical problem. I was trying to move my camera so that I could see everything, but unfortunately it then went big screen, so I had to close it and then reopen. So sorry I didn't get to see the game in proper time, so hence why I clicked back on it and showed a replay. Go on, Mema, keep that ball in. Which he has done. What can Mema do here as he looks to go down line? Takes on his man. Gets past him. Is he going to put in a cross? But tried to play it back to Cotton. But unfortunately, Hookering come away with the ball. We've got the ball back. Bobby Robson keeps it in play. Bobby Robson puts it across. But the cross has been cleared. And Bobby Robson looks to come back to defend. But Hookering have launched the ball upfield. And Royal Oak have gathered it and are now keeping control of the ball. Heavey plays it over to Mema. Mema with a lovely ball over to Roman Ismail. Roman Ismail with a lovely touch. Squares the ball to Ben Steele. And Ben Steele finds the back of the net to make it 2-0. So it's 2-0 Royal Oak. With what is only our third shot and our second on target. Hookering have had a couple of shots. They've got one on target. Not shown in the highlights, but Mema's got the ball from a clearance but lost out on the ball seconds from getting it. And now Hookering are looking to play triangles. Looking like what could have been tiki-taka, but now the goalie's just hoofed it upfield and he has found Royal Oak's Bailey Cotton. Ethan Wilson to Mema. What can Mema do here? Armelindo Mema goes for goal, but lovely save by the Hookering keeper. And it stays 2-0. So Freddie Stanley's got the ball, gives it to Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson goes for goal, but it's been blocked and cleared. And now Hookering can come away with the ball here. As they keep hold of it well. It's a lovely play by Hookering. But Roland thought he had won the ball. But in the mix of winning it, he kicked it against the Hookering player, who then kept hold of the ball. And then Andrews puts in a tackle and sends the ball out for a Hookering throw-in. Good clearance, but it did fall to a Hookering player who might be able to find the back of the net. That was a little bit of a good build-up with the fortunes of Royal Oak. Missed fortunes with the clearance. That was fortunes for Hookering to then be able to get a shot off. Stills giving it to Mema. What can Mema do here? Mema looks to pick out Roman Ismail. Roman Ismail goes for goal. Roman Ismail finds the top corner and makes it 3-0 as we hit the 20-minute mark. And the ref is David Middleton, who I think has been refereeing all the games that Royal Oak are a part of. So we've had 6 shots, 3 on target. Hookering have 4 shots, 1 on target. Royal Oak's XG is 1.33 and 0.10 for Hookering. So we win the ball back from a Hookering goal kick. Heavey to Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson looks to take on his man, but goes for goal, but puts it absolutely wide, which he could have probably found a pass, play it to somebody who probably would have put it more on target. As to only have 3 on target out of 9 shots, we should be doing a little better. Thought that was going to be a hookering goal there for a second. So Jack Ward with the goal kick. Lumps the ball upfield, but won by Hookering. And now Hookering are on the attack. They look to play the ball out wide. Will they go for goal? Which they do, but puts it wide. Evie over to Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson plays it back to Kai Rowlands. Kai Rowlands puts the ball upfield. But unfortunately, we didn't have the ball, but won back by Wilson. Gives it to Bobby Robson. Bobby Robson goes for a goal and makes it 4-0 before half time. Come on. 4-0. What a brilliant first half. Better first half this time round than the last game, where we ended up going in at 0-0 to then end up winning 5-1. But at this point we are looking more and more confident and comfortable in this first half, being 4-0 up, going into half time. But with this final highlight, could we go 5-0 up? Roman Ismail, and saved by the keeper, which makes it another highlight for Royal Oak. So Armin Ndemema puts the ball in. Ball has been cleared. And it's a penalty. We have got a penalty. Who's stepping up to take the penalty? Roman Ismail stepping up to take the penalty. Roman Ismail tucks it away. And he has scored his third goal of the season. Come on. As the crowd go wild. Woo! Who's that team we call the Royal Oaks? Who's that team we call the Alio? And we playing all blue and we're fucking dynamite. And we are Royal. And we support the Royal Oaks evermore, evermore. Who's that team we call Royal Oaks? Who's that team we call the Alio? And we played all blue and we're dynamite. And we support Royal Oak evermore, evermore. Or that other song that we could sing. Since I was young, I followed them. Royal Oaks, their team for me. La 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 la. Since I was young, I followed them. Royal Oaks, their team for me. La 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 la. La 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 la. Royal Oaks. Royal Oak. Royal Oak. Royal Oak. Royal Oak. So Rowlands with the header gives it straight to Hughes on the Hookering team. But Hookering have now got a free kick. Are they going to put this on target? But blocked by the wall. But they've still got the ball, but gave it away to Freddie Stanley. Freddie Stanley plays it forward to Roman Ismail. Roman Ismail's looking to go down line. What can Roman Ismail do here? Will Roman Ismail make a pass? He makes the pass over to Wilson. And it has been cleared and out for a corner. For a Royal Oak corner. Brilliant clearance. Brilliant block by Bailey Cotton. I feel like Kai Rowland should come off because he hasn't had a great game. At a 6.6, feel like he could do a little better, especially when we're 5-0 up. I don't quite get how my defence how my centre backs are getting low ratings and not a 7.0 and above. Wilson plays it out wide to Mema. Mema looks to run down line, but unfortunately the highlight then ended. I make a couple of subs, and I think it was going to be Kai Rowlands. Sumpter can come on. Melindo Mema has played well. Can come off for Owings, and then Dylan Bev can replace Roman Ismail. We're making all 3 subs on the 60th minute. Come on. Right, let's get ourselves another goal. We're going to praise the lads. Cotton to Wilson. Wilson to Owens. Owens to Steele. Steele over to Heavey. Heavey over to Bebb. What can Dylan Bebb do here? Dylan Bebb looks to run down line. Dylan Bebb puts it across. Ben Steele. What a header. And Ben Steele gets his 7th goal of the season. Fantastic. What fantastic play. And we are 6-0 up. So we are going to encourage a few players that had just come on. So we're going to encourage Sumpter, Lewis Owens and Dylan Bebb. Confirm shout. Ooh, was that a save? No, went over the crossbar. Go on, Sumpter. Plays a brilliant ball to Wilson. Wilson over to Owens. Go on, Lewis Owens. Puts it across to Steele. Steele plays it back to Cotton. Cotton to Owens. Owens over to Wilson. Wilson goes for goal and he makes it 7-0. 4th goal of the season. Assisted by Lewis Owens. Finally, we've been able to praise absolutely everybody's got a green face. Everybody's happy with that shout. Well done, Wilson, for getting it cleared. Over to Dylan Bebb. Go on, Bebb. Bebb to Cotton. Go on, Cotton. As he looks to run down line. Plays it into the middle to Ben Steele. Ben Steele. Over to Heavey. Oh, Caleb Heavey hits the post. But the ball has been cleared to Heavey. Heavey plays it over to Cotton. Cotton with what looked like a cross, and it goes out for a throw-in. Ball's been cleared to Bobby Robson. What can Bobby Robson do here? Plays it over to Dylan Bev. Can Dylan Bev get to the ball first? Which he does. Dylan Bev goes for goal. But I think it was saved onto the crossbar and out for a corner. When I mean crossbar, I mean the corner of the post and the crossbar. Ball's been cleared. Got 1 minute of added time. Can Rilo get one last attack? Or will Hookering get a constellation goal? Hebe. And the ref has blown his whistle. And it is 7-0 to Royal Oak as they win on the Hookering playing field in Hookering as they win away from home, and Ethan Wilson gets player of the match. So let's continue. And unfortunately, we didn't have time to play the Hawthorn United game. So we've got 8 inboxes. So we're going to end the episode by doing a post-match press conference. Just how gutted was Roman Ismail by your decision to take him off when he still had a chance to get a hat-trick? It was really nothing. I'm sure you can find more interesting questions for me. You've shown little let up in this fantastic season by making a mockery of those predicting relegation at the start of the campaign. Where does this Royal Oak team go from here? I'm so proud of what we achieved so far, and it's a case of being optimistic as possible now. We're good enough to win something. It's rumoured that Armando Mema will be leaving the club in the near future. Performances like that are hardly going to produce his interest. I don't want to comment on speculations. With the transfer rumours still swirling, will you bring anyone else into the club? I will never rule out. Everybody here wants the squad to be as strong as possible, and if a player we like becomes available, who knows? You have been linked extremely with Ben Richard. Is he the player you are talking about? We are possibly looking to sign one more player, and Ben is one of the possibilities. We're not solely on him though. You have used a staggering 25 players so far this season, the highest in the Central and South Norfolk League. Can you explain why the figure is so high? Always looking for an edge, and I'm very happy to give players opportunities to impress if they earn them. You must be delighted to have secured a win against Hookering after making a decision to rest some of your players. I am thrilled. Some of the performances out there have given me some selection decisions to make in the future. So Ethan Wilson needs to be praised. Give him a handshake. You were superb in front of goal. Uppingham Town boss Jordan Adele was spotted at Hookering was seen at Hookering playing field as he's looking at Armando Mema. 10 matches won in a row. Royal Oak's unbeaten run reaches 10 games. Tom Montmorin has decided to turn down the chance to leave the club after contract from North Shield. Oh, that's good. So inbox. So Morgan targeting success for Royal Oak. Yes, we are. So schedule. So for episode 7, we'll be playing against Hawthorn United, Sproston Athletics under 21s, and then we might do the first 2 games of January. And that will be episode 7, and then episode 8 will be the end of January, all of February, and then, yeah. So, hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And this has been Drewster Gamer FC, and I will catch you guys next time. I will have this video come out on a Tuesday. So, plan will be, if I'm able to film on a Monday, videos will come out on a Tuesday. And if I'm able to film on a Friday, videos will come out on a Saturday. So this is enough from me. I will catch you guys in episode 7.